If you are wondering what is happening in Dubai, what is happening in the United Arab Emirates, you have come to the right video. So much is happening, especially things that are happening to Africans. What is happening to Africans in Dubai? I've made it my life's mission to talk about things, especially the bad things, even the good things on occasion, that are happening to Africans in Dubai. Why I have so many reasons for doing this. One of the reasons is that I want to bring this information to all Africans, especially those that have not traveled to Dubai, they have not traveled to United Arab Emirates. Also to try and discourage those that are thinking to travel to the United Arab Emirates for job opportunities. Those who are traveling for business, you may or may not, I don't really care so much about you, but if you are thinking about to travel to the United Arab Emirates as an African for job opportunities, you need to watch all of my videos because I give you a raw perspective of someone that has lived in the United Arab Emirates for 4 years, someone that has experienced all the ups. Yeah, I experienced some good ups and all the downs. I explain everything, and especially I tell you how someone can be up in Dubai and all of a sudden they go down. They go down, they end up on the streets, some people end up in prison. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you what is happening to Africans in the United Arab Emirates. I know it is a common question. So many people who have never traveled, and when you watch my videos and I'm talking about all these things, the racism, you're like, what is happening? So in today's video, let's talk about the main thing that is happening, which is police raids. So these police raids have kind of become rampant, which were not there before. I mean, there was security and intelligence, which is really good, and I always loved this about the United Arab Emirates. I always took pride in the fact that I'm living in such a place with very good intelligence. But of recent, there have been so many police raids. These raids happen in a way that they'll come into your building where you're living, you have your accommodation, you're living in a bed space. These are shared spaces, like a room like this one. They put bunk beds and people are sleeping on different bunk beds in this bed space. So they come and raid the building and they make sure everyone gets out. It could be in the middle of the night, it could be during the day, and they'll push everyone out. Usually they'll be checking for people who are in overstay, which is a big issue that I talk about, how people end up in overstay and how many people are in overstay. Obviously, I don't know the right number, but I'll give you a gauge to show you that this is a big problem. And also I talk about amnesty coming in of recent and how it is related to the rampant police raids. So amnesty, we all know what amnesty is about, right? Amnesty is an organization that is international. It's Amnesty International, it's in the name, that comes in to help people in countries who, especially people who are in a different country, help them, observe their rights, clear their overstay fines, which is what is happening in the United Arab Emirates. I have talked about this and someone said that, I don't remember exactly what this person said, but what I remember feeling like was that this person thought amnesty is a good thing and I shouldn't taint it bad in any way. Amnesty is indeed a good thing, and if you read about in their website, you understand that amnesty is very necessary. And there was one person who also needed amnesty when I was in overstay, yeah? So I know amnesty is a good thing, but the context I was talking about it, and I really explained in that video, is that when amnesty came in the UAE, it was to be for 2 months. Technically, 2 months are more than enough for people to willingly clear their overstay fines, people to willingly change their visa status, that is, pay money to change their visa if they want to stay in the United Arab Emirates. And yeah, it was to be for 2 months. I can guarantee you it was more than enough time. Even I, who took my time to go and make my visa, I eventually did my visa and it was a very quick process. I can guarantee you 2 months were more than enough time. But since the time expired, it was to begin in September and then October. They kept extending it because amnesty was brought in so that people can leave the country freely without having to pay the fines, leave the country freely. But people did not leave, Africans especially. They were unbothered, they are not leaving the country. And when amnesty stops, all those fines which were accumulated for years and years, they were to come back on everyone, yeah? Everyone who had the fines. If you didn't exit the country, if you did not clear your fines and renew your visa or change your status and get a residence visa, you were to get back all the fines, yeah? But Africans were really unbothered. Once again, I explained some of these things in my videos, but I know you cannot add everything in one video, so I'm gonna try to explain why Africans did not leave. Like, this is an opportunity, you can go back to your country. So a little bit explanation on that is that as Africans, when we leave Africa to come to the United Arab Emirates, we spend a lot of money. I've talked about fake agents, so we spend a lot of money. We are sold a hope, we are sold a dream that our life is going to change tremendously. We are going to get better jobs with bigger pay. So we sell our land, for example, get loans to travel to the United Arab Emirates. So when we have reached and we have not achieved anything, and even if amnesty comes in, we've been in overstay for years, 2 years, 3 years without a job. I'm not kidding you guys. Add this to the list of what is happening in Dubai, what is happening to Africans in the United Arab Emirates. People have spent 2 years, 3 years without a job. I kid you not. I would not come here and bubble my mouth if this wasn't true. Anyway, and now amnesty comes in, fine. It is a good thing, but you have loans back home. You know, you sold your land. There's no way you're just going to show up without anything. You weigh your options. You still have the hope that maybe you're gonna get a job in Dubai anytime soon, yeah? So Africans decide not to pack their bags and go back to Africa, even with amnesty. Now, they realized towards the end of the amnesty period, which was 2 months, that they were not achieving the targets of Africans or anyone really leaving the United Arab Emirates. My role here is talk about Africans, speak for Africans, so I'm not going to keep saying Asians. Try to apologize if anyone says this is also happening to Asians. I cannot speak for Asians, I'll keep speaking for Africans. So they kept extending the amnesty, thinking that maybe if we extend the amnesty, these Africans are going to decide and go leave the country because all they have to do is just leave. But they realized even that wasn't actually working. That's how the police raids came in. I know this is true. Of course, it wasn't made as a public announcement and they said that, you know, because you guys are not leaving, we are going to start police raids, and if you have not left willingly, we're going to make you leave. No, they did not make such, of course, publicity. They cannot say it. But if you reason it out, if you think and put 2 and 2 together, you realize that is exactly what happened. So they kept extending the amnesty, and every time they extend the amnesty for a few more weeks, usually it's a month, you will see the raids and you're like, hold up, you guys, why don't you just make a public announcement and say that we are coming to raid you because of this and this? Because at this point, this is exactly why you are raiding. The other thing why I only talk about Africans is if you have experienced these raids, if you have looked at them closely, you are following the news, you know, you will see that the buildings that are being raided are mostly African occupied buildings. I'm not saying there are no Asians sharing the same buildings as Africans. So if you're an Asian and you are watching me, be smart and try to live in buildings that are not occupied by Africans. You have a better chance of not being raided if you are not living with Africans. It is a fact. It is true. I'm not promoting segregation. No, I'm just making an observation. So the buildings is still happening. It is happening in Dubai right now, which are mostly targeted, are mostly occupied by Africans. So that is how I come in and I be like yelling here on my videos, and I'm shouting and I'm telling Africans, especially those who are in Africa, please do not waste your money. No matter how good that agent speaks. I've seen some agents, actually one of the agents is my friend. He is Pakistani, he is my good friend, I've known him for years. And obviously this is his business, yeah? And the other day we were discussing how we should make a video together, and I want to say that I have come to the realization that I've reached a point where the truth is very important to me than anything else. absolutely anything else, because this is a friend who knows I'm creating these videos, and at this point my videos are getting some sort of traction, I'm getting some sort of attention, and it might sound in some of my videos as if I am attacking my friend's business. Of course, not him personally, you know, but when I say kindly watch out, don't spend your money to travel to the United Arab Emirates, it would look as if I'm attacking my friend. And here is my friend telling me that, you know, we should make a video together, and which means this video, I don't know what it is going to talk about. So I was telling him, you know my point, you know my mind, you know my stand right now. Do you really want to make a video with me? Because my stand, I cannot change it, I cannot kind of act nice. I have to be true to my message. You know, it's a still ongoing conversation, but I'm just mentioning that the fact that the truth or the journalism in me is coming out. There's another friend of mine who is an Arab in Saudi Arabia. I've also known him for years. We have talked for years. I remember the time I was homeless, he helped me financially. So he's been my friend. I have known him for some time. So the other day he saw one of my videos, and he felt some type of way because I was going really hard on Arabs. It was like Arabs are racist. Obviously, it's not every Arab. For sure, it cannot be every Arab. But in general, Arabs are racist, and if I am making a video where I'm trying to put my message across, I'm not gonna talk and then contradict myself in one message. If I wake up and I'm feeling like this racism needs to stop, this racism is going too far, I'm not going to pick out the two Arabs that are good people and make the video about that. No, I'm gonna focus on the big picture. I'm gonna focus on the ones that are bad. So he was telling me, he's like, hey, we've been friends for years. I mean, why are you doing this? And I'm like, no, this is not personal. Clearly, this is not personal. If it were personal, I would be talking about you in person. But this is beyond me, this is beyond yourself. Let's not bring our friendship into the kind of message that I'm talking about. And if you feel like because of my message, you can't be friends with me anymore, I completely understand. But I am not going to let my brothers and sisters enter into a situation that I entered in, which you know, because we got to be friends from the fact that I was homeless on the streets. You got to help me and got to know who I am. So I'm trying to make sure none of my sisters ends up in my situation, because not everyone is going to be so lucky to speak up and get help, you know? So it's nothing personal. If you feel like, yes, I'm generalizing in certain messages, I'm not. I'm just staying on message. So thank you for watching today's video on what is happening in Dubai, and thank you for getting my perspective on what is happening in Dubai and why it is happening. The raids to promote Africans to leave the United Arab Emirates and come back to Africa. I'm very sure there's no other reason.